Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Tuesday, February 2nd, 2021. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Before we begin here, I do want to invite you to the PivotBoss monthly market outlook later on this afternoon at 4 o'clock p.m. Central Time, 5 p.m. Eastern. We're going to discuss higher time frame analysis for the broader market and also bring prospects to the table. So please join me later on. This is a free event open to the public, and I'd love to see you there. All right, let's take a look here at the ES in the daily time frame. You'll see right here the ES has started the month fairly strong. The failed new low with the bullish thrusting pattern here nearly got to a bullish outside day, was fairly strong. It was able to hold on to gains the rest of the day. It was able to push beyond the previous month's midpoint, which was the important level we talked about. Can it get above that 37.50 and hold? Can it stay above that zone? Because if so, it opens the path to more upside ahead. Now, one thing to keep in mind is, any failure to hold above two-day highs today would be a major sign of maybe a failure to come. So these two-day highs are very important. Right now, price is through those two-day highs, but if, for example, price were to form a tail and close back below those today, that could be an indication here that we may still have a little bit of weakness here to come yet. But overall, this market remains strong. This is a strong start to the month here with a rejection at the previous low here and a continuation through the previous month's midpoint. This suggests more upside ahead if it can continue to hold above that 37.50 and especially above those two-day highs. So right now, watching to see how this plays out, but so far so good as this thing continues to push forward toward the previous week's high and also the previous month's high. All right, let's take a look at the NQ. Now, the NQ was even more bullish than the ES here. You can see a very strong start to the month here with a failed low and a bullish outside day. That gives you a buy signal here. It's very similar to the buy signal we saw here, only this day was much more significant in size and range. Right now, showing a strong continuation here overall off of the previous quarter close. And again, this suggests we could have more upside ahead. I would just caution that if price fails to hold above the FOMC key level or perhaps below two-day highs, that could start to begin to open up a bit of a lower high rejection scenario where we could come back down and test that major 12,465. Overall, that 12,465 is the major level to continue to watch here. If we are to fail and see a broader pullback, it would need to take out this level here, which would open up some lower downside targets. But right now, everything still suggests more upside unless there's a failure to hold above that FOMC key level by the end of the day. Let's take a look here at crude oil. Now, crude oil is up tremendously here already today, up 2.7% right now. A major breakout underway. Bullish outside bar in the previous session and now seeing expansion from that narrow 15-day range. You can see here 15 days locked in. There's the smallest bar right there, and now you're seeing a expansion here on the next bar. We're closing here at around 6+ points of potential range. And again, if we take it from the low here, that recent low, we can either take it from the recent low and say, okay, the next 6+ handles are going to be higher from this low. That low is 51.64, so we're looking at somewhere north of, just call it 52 there. We're looking at 58 plus as the next upside target. If we take it from the breakout point here, which is today's low, 53.45, call it 53.50, that could take us north of 59.5 and perhaps 60 just on this breakout. So tremendous energy that is built up in this 15-day range. We're now seeing a major breakout here. Again, several ways to perhaps measure where we go from here, but we're looking at something up here between 58 and 60 as the upside target as this thing continues to climb. Again, very similar to the ES and the NQ here. If for some reason this thing fails and we don't close above these highs and instead fall back into the range, forming some sort of tail, that could be very telling moving forward. But right now, everything suggests more upside as this thing continues to remain very bullish, has built up that next round of energy. It's very similar to this right here where we're going to start to see this phase up ahead. we'll see if we continue higher toward those upside targets. All right, lastly, taking a look at gold futures, down about 1.5% right now. This one, again, having trouble at that 1874 and 1880 level that we talked about. Price really needs to get above 1880 to open up that next resistance level above 1960, similar to what we've talked about before. But any failure here is starting to look very similar to what we saw before, where it was not really able to find acceptance and needed a flush. Right now it looks like we're starting to see the initial flush here play out. And remember, below 1840 here really begins to open up the downside. Right now trading 1836. So again, really needs to get above 1880, and right now it looks like it's failing, which could lead to a flush downward. If we do get a bigger flush, 1766 could be the major downside target. All right, that's it for now. Please join me later on this afternoon for our monthly market outlook at 4 p.m. Central. You can find the link to join in the description below. All right, everyone, have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you in the trading room. Take care.